he go around the corner. Yeah.
Everything must be very legato and calm here. So try to place even our first note, no moving away from the start. This is purchase and horns, no dancing away from the dotted crotch, you know. First and second is exactly the same. So we get a little bit behind on the dotted crotchet. No gesture on the dotted crotchet. Keep singing. Here we go. Shimmery. Very nice. Here's two. instructions come in like cantabile or something with a new layer. I imagine that everything from 4, where the harmony is a bit more kind of potent than the opening, we let sing and let feel a bit more probing, a bit more present. I don't think we need to shy away from the dynamic and stuff too much, and all of the stuff around bar 50 until the diminuendo starts at 56. We can all sing a little bit more, and it'll be, yeah, just when we play it in the moment, just sinking into our ears with the harmony as much as possible, because we're sharing all the same pitches, just trying to be right in the middle of every kind of intonation decision and staying very alert and like, do I need to tweak, do I need to tweak? And again, super legato. So first, like 49, when we have the long C, so there's no new arrival when our heart starts moving. But we save that for the note.
When we get to figure 5, there's another last chord, and
it's very, very quiet.
Which one?
I was trying to go.
And however they play it, we can stay very floaty halfway through 5 onwards, because otherwise we stop.
Yeah, I think the first minimum of 5 is a little bit tricky. I think we're getting quite a little bow, don't we? Lots of us too.
Yes, and then there's the high when we go up the octave.
Yes, yes.
We shouldn't.
But even that half bar getting through to bow, just trying to make sure we don't gush forward. Yeah. Magical. Thank you. Can we do the 4-5? Just 4 bars. 4 bars and 4-5. We're going to take the 4-4 bar, 3 before 6. This is those mini waves. 3 before 6. starting new line there to be quite a close. It's really nice. We don't play it long. But we're going to go back to the transition to the electric. This is 2 before the electric, hard 9. Am I wrong? We shouldn't check right again. Yeah. And I think thank you. This is bar 90. Bar 92 before the electric. Here's straight from 157, which is before 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 before 11. Here we go.
One of my toes.
Just the last 2 beats, but just the final beat. behind in the entry at bar of 12. We're going to do 4-4-12. 4-12. Only forte, just part of the texture. 4-4-12. And and similar in the gestures. A much stiller gesture in the 4 or 5 bars before 15. Here is 5 before 15 with the up. 5. We're going to play for 15 one more time. We really must count. Here we go, 15. thing. Bar 184, no louder on the downbeat of one before the tutto forte. We want to try and reach all of these high points very organically, and I feel like we just hit that moment a little bit. We will reach whatever dynamic we reach, but there's no moment where we're just like, here we go, climax. They try and just same dynamic we do the 3-2 bar. Brass, it's really helpful when it's just a little bit cooler in the dynamic in the forte. Yeah. Yes, I think we all got tenuto, and there is a bit of daylight between them. So you hear that. I remember yeah, exactly. On we go. We're in one. Really well, it's incredibly complicated texture. What I say is, we're so really well aligned, and we're more than close enough aligned, I would say, for it to really good cross. In the moment, you must be up and alert and ready to slightly rejig. This is an incredibly complicated texture, and when we have minims, when we go like, it's very hard to feel the minim completely the same as each other as we do it. So we must be ready to realign and just stay up, don't go in. Sometimes we have a rehearsal where we're like, oh, we're relaxed, everything's fine, and then in concert mode it's a bit, we're like, oh my god, and we're all like, and so we mustn't go like into the head bunker. We must be up and ready to realign. Okay? Very nice. And then just a reminder for us on the strings, at 4, I guess also for the clarinets and flutes, this has got these mysterious tiptoes and not some kind of heavy, folky jig. Just make sure we're so light when we're about to get to silence. 3. be stiller in its phrasing. This is 3 before 4. 3 before 4. Maybe, but I think we can do it with our bowing. I think we can leave it, and we just feel a sense of. It's about having the character in our heads before it happens. 3 before 4. We need a similar mindset from 6, that we're suddenly in, like, we're adding a cloud of stuff around the woodwind and not driving this music anymore. So thinking gentle, thinking mostly about blocking into the tunes that we hear above us. It must be following mode at 6. Okay? Great. Here's the 4th of... Actually, let's do 7 before 5, which is the key change. 7 before 5. Seconds tunes. That's great for strings. Cellos and basses, you really notice it at like bar 151 as we move over. Really gentle. Thank you, Vaughan. Here's 7. 7. Or 1. Or 1. Because it's slightly pushing us. It's slightly, very slightly extra. Great. This is 7 once more. 7. Or 1. Or 1. pattern needs to stay slightly cooler in the rhythm. That's one layer that just feels like it might slightly run through the crotchet not being quite having its full space. But that's going to be fab. Woodwind, all of the stuff around 17, reminded that brass coming with a big, disruptive forte, surprising harmony, and we want it piano and clean in comparison, which doesn't have too much fire in it. It's going to be great. First, second, third, 21. I'd love that to feel like more cantabile, more, because it just feels like, like we don't hold the legato across the string crossing, and it's like suddenly we're weirdly back in this prayerful start of the piece. At the moment, it feels a bit like hopping between the notes. Absolutely connected. Thank you. We're so nearly there. Just a reminder, we're about to get strings in the last few bars of the 3-2 section. Those surprising A minor and 7 chords, the pins modes where we all meet each other. Just make sure that we're ready to have this stuff in our mind for those moments. We're going to take the end of this once more. This is 18. 18. Make sure the quavers don't start early. Really thinking all 4 quavers and making sure that the third quaver doesn't start early. One time, and 1. Just falling forwards within the bar. That cold rhythm. Okay? Here's 3 before 20. 3 before 20. I'm sorry, that's a bit silly. 5 before 20. 5 before 20. 5. 1. 1. Intonation staying up and connected to each other. We go second to 1. This is straight on the 3/4, just really trying to be up for a clean top off. Straight on the 3/4. Just a bit loud, I think, for the rest of the chord. You really don't want to feel that anything is more important. You can't have the keys much as well. We're in accompaniment mode and a slightly forward arrow. Great. On we go. This is figure 1. That's the forte here, those rich. Majestic in a way from 1 until 2. But the early chorus is too loud. We'll be on a solo. We're going to do that join. This is 3 before 2. 3 before 2. 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's only a quaver. Some of us stopped quite early. Yeah? And the strings. This is the tune we had from the beginning. And we need to just get a bit of clarity in our pulsing bows, just so we can hear that rhythm speaking. This is straight on tempo 1. Thank you. Tempo 1. so be as up and with me as you can. Violas and cellos, that piano entry, I'll try and get more of that piano innuendo. It'd be nice to meet each other and the meaning of that side. That's great. Here we go. Here's 71. 71. 4 bars later, it's 75. 2, 4. So that's just be careful at the start of that. Here's 71. 2, 3. Trombones and trumpets, poco primoso is not so poco yet, so we're just ready for quite a forward arrow at the moment. But first and seconds at 8, that's quite a big sitting back. We've got time, so pantim bam ba, just ready to give that space. Don't feel at all pushed forward in that part. Great, thank you. Well, here's 7 on one point. Cello, it's a beautiful dynamic. Not to find the sound that feels a bit more like we're part of the melodic line. We're on the soft edge, under it feels like a tune, and not like something goes with it at all. Okay, here's 7. 7. We have a little bit more there of the G, A, B flat layer. Here's 189. 189. Because it's just the top is just moving a bit late to the seconds and violas at the moment. Okay, one more time. We're going to have to play from 189 one more time. Will, just to make sure you know where that solo is. Yeah, it's 2.5 bars before you come in. And in the closing passage, we do a bit more. We don't want to slow down over the areas. Okay, here's 189. 189. 2.5 bars before you come in. The speed, if we're one more time, but we need to leave it. And then, guys, just please be aware that I'm going to be in accompaniment mode and I'm just pinging out the bar lines. Okay, but here we go. Here's 189. Well, let's just chat about that in the break, just to make sure the rhythm's really clear. Thank you very much. We're going to read the last one before our break. On we go. Here's two, but at first I can realize two points. Here's two. Absolutely. One, two. Here's 6A, 6A. Spot your bum, spot your bum. Forward, forward. Just only 3 phrases of the C. Yes, again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5, well done. So you go back all of the bottom. Capital 3 bars before 9. You're over in no time. So we don't go like fully down the way. It's louder than we want to go 9. Just in like, oh my god, are we getting that? We normally are there, but just we'll stay up and go. Ethan, just want to, 8, just, maybe like a bit more mezzo forte, saving room for the 5th bar or whatever. Great, here's 1, 5, 3, 4 bar. Sharp, yes. 13. 13. 1, 2, and... Here we go, 13. 1, sense of line. At the moment it feels like a bit like a mini pause on the dotted crotchet. And then it's when we really hear it in those 2 beat cells. Try and think. But it's great. Here we go. Keeping going from the 2-4, sorry, 2-2-4 that we just reached. The bar with the fortissimo in. Here, in the beginning of the bar. 3, 4, 1. Prayerfully submitting to the pulse above, because if it moves to the blue, it's like nothing. We've got to all stay very disciplined, putting these parts together. Okay, here is 15 straight on, we'll play to the end, stay absolutely with me. Here are 15. 3, 4. going to be beautiful, and very effective. Just we have to stay so disciplined all the way through the music. It's going to be very magical. Let's have our break. Thank you, everyone.